Welcome to Pro World Live. I'm Danielle from Pro World.
Kate behind the camera.
And we are here today to kind of do a Valentine's Day special. It's coming up, so if you weren't aware, it's right around the corner. And what better way to do kind of Valentine gifts or customized orders, but to do them with Silky Socks, boxers, and Boyshorts, some sports bras here. So we've got just a fun collection of Silky Socks items that we're going to be printing and showing you how to do them. So like always, let us know where you're tuning in from. If you've tried Silky Socks, if you've done these boxers or sports bras, we would love to hear from you for that. And then we can get started. Do we have anybody just yet?
We have Trish tuning in.
All right. Hello. So I've already kind of printed out. I always like to do just a sample, so I'm, not acting like I'm winging it here. But I did a sports bra the other day, and this sports bra, let me just say, it's super comfortable. And I was surprised because I really didn't think that the band could get printed, but you can actually print on the band. Let me show you one without any ink on it. So the band is totally printable. The entire sports bra would be, let me put it this way here. So the entire area, the entire sports bra is going to be able to be printed. And we are going to do a full coverage, just like this sports bra. We're going to do another set. So we'll do a sports bra and the boy short kind of matching set for this. So I'm going to show you how. And I've used my Virtuoso Sawgrass SG500 printer. So I'm also going to show you how to piece two sheets together so that way you can get a full kind of coverage print. Since, the SG500 can only go up to 8.5 by 14. So that is a little limiting when you have like a bigger, design or bigger area that you want coverage. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And then we're also going to print a boxer and boy short kind of couple combo design. All right. So anything before we get started, before I jump right in?
Excuse me. We got Steve, Dan, Jose, Michelle. Michelle's printed on shorts, but not the Silky Socks. So.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So again, great. Thank you all for tuning in. We're going to jump right in. We are going to print on the boxers. So as you can see, the boxers right here, they have a seam, obviously, in the front, and then the back side is plain. We're actually going to print this design on the back side. So I am going to put this on my heat press. I have it right here. The very first thing you want to do is get the wrinkles out. So you do want to do a pre-press. You want to have it at a kind of heavy pressure for this. And since I am going to go on kind of like the back side, I don't really have, and I'm not doing a full coverage design for this. So I'm not really too concerned with the wrinkles or where they might be, but we'll go ahead and press this just to get those out.
And we do carry these, find them under our Silky Socks section.
Yes. Okay, so that's great for the pre-press. And we are just going to go ahead and place the design on it. As you can see for this, I'm not using, you don't need tape. You don't need a pillow. You don't really need anything. We are good to go just as it is. This is printed, it's mirror print through the Sublimation printer on text print paper. We're just gonna kind of place it in the middle or where we want it. And that looks about right. Okay. And we're gonna close and lock. We are at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 60 seconds. You can be anywhere between like 50 to 60. And I also have my heat press set at a manual opening. So when the timer counts down, I'm going to be able to open it up on my own. So that way I avoid any kind of shifting or having it pop up and move my paper because I don't want any ghosting to happen.
What temperature would you recommend for something like an easy press, quick and easy press?
So I think the easy press only goes up to 400 if I'm not mistaken. So I would definitely go 400, but just stay longer on your time. So that might be your only thing. So if we're going to do 60 seconds, I would say do 70 to 80 seconds. Give it a little bit more time to kind of get all the ink transferred. And you can always do like little tests on the fabric. You know, Silky Socks has t-shirts and socks. So, you know, if you have like a t-shirt that you might have messed up on, you can always use that too. Voila! Super cute. And steaming hot. I'm going to put this down so you can see. Oh, flip it this way. Is it backwards? All right. So that came out really good. We just kind of have to fan it out here. There we go. Okay. So super awesome print. It came out really nice. There's no ghosting. This will look really funny when somebody's wearing it. But the best part is we have to do the matching couple set. So we're going to go ahead and get the boy shorts under. The boy shorts are going to be printed just like the boxers. We are going to print that on the back as well, but we're going to change the design because it can't be the boss, but it'll be the real boss. So we'll go ahead and put these on on the briefs here. Okay, the boy shorts. Let me just press them to get the wrinkles out. Just a quick press. And these are by far the most popular items that we have for the holiday season. You know, the great thing about Silky Socks is, you know, you have so many options. These kind of underwear and undergarments, they're really Valentine's Day, that's what the holiday is all about. So, but you also have the option too of socks, t-shirts, headbands. What else, Kate? Is there anything else for Silky Socks that we carry? I think that pretty much sums it up.
Just a variety of those items.
Yeah. But really, they're really fun, and you could just be creative and really have a good time with these. All right, that looks great. We're gonna close and lock. Again, we are just at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We're doing 60 seconds. And I have this one all set, and then I will go ahead and show you how to do a larger print. So we're gonna do like a full coverage like the sports bra here. All right, any questions as we're kind of working through this?
No, I think we're good at the moment.
Okay.
And no jigs required for these, but we do have the jigs for the socks.
Yes, no jigs for these. And what you could do too is if you felt that the print might go to the back side, or you're, doing something you just don't want it to, put a piece of craft paper in between, or copy paper, or any kind of parchment that will sort of keep the other side clean if you're concerned. All right. Open that up, release it off, and voila. Super cute. Again, super hot. Let me put that down, scoot this over. There we go. Matching couple set. Super fun. And so easy. 60 seconds of your time, and you have a cute little fun gift set that you can kind of, even if like this might not be, your number one selling item, but combining this with something else that you sell, to make it like a Valentine Day pack or whatever, that is like the selling point for some people. They just want that gift basket. They want other options that you can offer and that they can kind of customize and make their own. Okay, so now these designs, well, these boxers and Boyshorts are all done. So let's go ahead and we'll transition to the larger pieces. Okay, so first things first, I am going to, we'll do the sports bra. Now, to save time, I pieced together the Boyshorts and one side of the sports bra. I'm going to show you though how to piece it together for the other side of the sports bra, so that way you know how to do it. Okay, and that we don't waste a whole lot of time, because it does take some time to kind of piece them together. All right, first things first, I printed this sheet. In my printer, I had a larger, so it was, I don't know, 16 by 14 was my layout size. And then I went and I tiled it. So I printed this sheet, and then I kind of scooted it over so that way I'd have an overlap. So my overlap is right about here. Overlap is super important because you want to make sure that you are lining it up just so that there's no gap. So really important to make sure that you have that overlap. And I'm just going to kind of slice off this kind of white piece here, the white edge.
What printer did you use?
So I use the Virtuoso SG500. And the SG500, this is the biggest sheet you can get, this 8.5 by 14 sheet. I can't print it any bigger than that for the standard SG500. So this is your way around it. Now, in 2 weeks, we are going to be talking with Sawgrass, and they are going to kind of, there we go. And they're going to show you working with the SG1000, which can go up to a 13 by 19 sheet. Totally different, right? You have so much more space to use on the SG1000. You know, you print up to 11 by 17. It can go up to a 13 by 19 with the bypass tray. But this is if you have the 500. So we can't print that big of a sheet size, but we're going to make it work. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to trim that extra white off, and then we're going to kind of line it up, and I'm just going to get my 2 pieces of tape. These are going to be my areas to kind of just hold in place these little pieces of tape. And as soon as I feel like I'm kind of in a good spot, put the piece of tape down, and then come down and line up your other side or your other end. Sometimes it goes right on for you and sometimes it doesn't. Just kind of find the best. Oh. See, this is why I did the other sheets already pieced together. Let me get this piece of tape off though.
Sandra tuning in loves Silky Socks.
Nice. Okay, so let's try that again. Let's line it up where we need it. I tend to do the one side and then the other, so that looks like we're close. Put that piece of tape down. And then come on down. And since these are like customized and they're one of a kind, it doesn't need to be perfect. And it's really okay if it's not. Your customers will understand that, you know, these are customized. They're made for them. There's, you know, seams that could happen and things like that. Okay, now that we have 2 pieces of tape, top and bottom, I flip it. I just fold my paper. And then I trim this excess off. This is going to make sure I don't have any weird overlapping color that might happen. Okay. Now I flip it back. There's my seam. Flip the whole sheet over. And now I'm going to tape the back side. And you just really want to kind of push your tape down into the crease, because that will lessen the kind of seam that you might see on the front side. All right, now you're not done. You've done this part, flip it back over and get these pieces of tape off, because you don't want them on there, because that's going to prevent the ink from getting onto your print or onto your sports bra. And we're good to go. This print is ready. We're going to get our sports bra ready on our platen, and we're going to print it. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce my pressure. I'm going to use a pressing pillow with the sports bra. Do you need a pressing pillow? You don't need one, but I like using the pressing pillow for a few reasons. Number one, on this sports bra, there's a pretty good size seam from the bottom part of the bra coming through the top. So when you lay it down flat, you feel this seam. Any seam is going to stick up, causing this area that's right next to the seam to not print as dark or as saturated in color as you might like. The pillow is going to help even that out. So I'm going to wrap, this sports bra is a large. I'm going to wrap this sports bra around my 15 by 15 pressing pillow. So that way it will sit nice and flat and I don't have to worry about that seam. Also, let me use this one. If I didn't do this and I just put my sheet like this and didn't worry about it, all this other side is going to get imprinted with my design. So you really want to make sure that any area you do not want printed is not under the press. Okay, now we'll put that under the press. We're going to flatten out these wrinkles, get it to be nice and smooth. Like I said, I was going to reduce my pressure because I'm working with a pressing pillow, so I really want to accommodate for that. You want to be at a heavy pressure, but I want to be a heavy pressure where it's not going to flatten out my pillow. Yeah, we're not there yet. Okay, that's good. And again, we're manual, so that'll just open up for me when I open it. And I'm just kind of smoothing out these kind of just weird wrinkles that are happening at the top. Because any area that is going to wrinkle or crease, what'll happen is the ink won't get there in like where that crease is. So you really want to make sure you kind of get as many of the wrinkles out as you can. Okay, that looks good. What I am going to do is place, I want to keep my pillow clean. So I'm going to put parchment, just kind of in little sheets, to just keep that area nice and clean for me, because I am doing a full color print. I just don't want it to make my pillow messy.
Then you can getting it onto their next project.
Right. I just need another little sliver, and we'll stick it over here. Can you do this without a pillow? Yes. Do you need something? Yes. So you can stuff craft paper in between, or use the pillow. You know, it's really just your own preference. What you find is going to be your best option and your best print for you. Okay, this looks good. Send it in. And we're going to take this. I'm going to make sure I don't print this upside down. This design sometimes always tricks me. Hearts are that way. Place your design covering. Let me pull this out more. You're going to make sure your design is up here covering that section, down here covering this section, and we're going to do right over the band. So we're making sure that we're also covering where the band is. And that seems good to me. And we're gonna go ahead and close and lock. Okay. 400 degrees, again, 50 to 60 seconds. I'm at 60. So since I didn't adjust it, and it's really steaming.
Heat resistant tape leave impressions on the item?
So if I were to, do the Boyshorts and I had that sheet of paper, if I were to tape the paper down, yes, you will probably see impressions of the tape. But since the tape is on the reverse side of my print, you're really not going to see any kind of tape indentation. But if you're taping your actual Silky Sock, yeah, you probably will kind of see a little rectangle of tape there. Which is really with any sublimation product, any garment, they're very sensitive to the line of the paper and to the tape. Okay.
It's another reason to cut that seam as much as possible, as close as possible.
Yes. Voila. Super fun. What I'm gonna do is just gonna take it off and show you this one. Oh my God, how cute is that? And I'm gonna point out my seam. You could barely see it. It's right here. It actually just so happened that it's like smack in the middle. But I think that looking at it, total win. I am not bothered at all by that seam. And somebody wearing it or ordering it or having it won't even see that. Now, what are we gonna do? We have to get the back side. Take out your paper. And another great reason why you wanna use a pressing pillow, I'm on the back side already. How simple. Easy, done, it's already there for you. What I'm gonna do is just pull my design down a little bit so I can make sure I get that top part. I'm gonna have to pre-press this again because there we go. All right, tuck it in just a little bit from either side to see if you can kind of minimize that seam that you might get. All right, let me see if I can get that wrinkle out at the top. I don't like that wrinkle. Okay. And since I've already prepped my sheet, I don't have to do that. So that's great. All right, my wrinkle's just a little bit there. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it. It's not bothering me too much. Okay. Place this under, and I'm gonna tuck my paper in again because you saw these sheets. I'll grab that back. See how all of this would have imprinted onto your pillow. So you really don't want that. You want to keep your pillow nice and clean. So put these sheets underneath. This is parchment. You can use anything. At home, I use copy paper. It's really whatever you have. And we're just gonna slide it in under the sports bra. Okay. That looks good. Take my sheet, place it on top. Again, make sure you're in all the spots you need to be. And we are gonna close and lock. Another 60 seconds at that 400 degrees. And this, if you're, since we are using a pressing pillow, we're kind of at a heavy pressure. It just doesn't seem like we're heavy because of the pillow. But if you're not doing it with a pillow, you want to make sure that you are at a heavy pressure setting, that you really do feel that heaviness. All right. And we are going to do the combination boy short next. So this is going to be like the same design, just a full print on the boy short. So you can see that, how easy that is. This was actually 3 sheets of 8.5 by 11 paper that I pieced together. So that way I can have this whole thing covering my shorts if I were to put this on here. So you can see that that's gonna totally cover it for me. Okay. Oh, we're almost done. voila. This is so cute. Such a cute Valentine project. And it looks so great. It came out nice. I have a little bit of the seam side. Let me take this out and take it off my pressing pillow because the pressing pillow is pretty hot. Okay. You have a little bit of the side seam right there. I'm not bothered by that. I feel like that's fine. You could probably reduce this side seam if you didn't use the pressing pillow, but I feel like for all the benefits of the pressing pillow, that kind of side seam is totally fine and acceptable. Now, I will say that I pressed this one. This is using our 16 by 20 press. This one at home, I used my 15 by 15, and you can kind of see the seam is just a little bit more prominent because this really does measure 15 full inches across. Oh, well, you can't tell because that's a 16, but that's why this has just a little bit more of a gap. Totally fine, because you know what? That gap's right here. No one's looking for that gap, but just so you can kind of see your expectations of what you can do. And of course, as you kind of print these and really get used to them, all of these little, things that you'll notice, you'll get better at the next time you print. So even for, Kate, if you want to zoom in one more time here, like even when you see up in here, this was my first initial one. It has kind of like a little bit of a ghosting sort of bleed happen, but I don't have that on this one. So, really great things with both things and how one printed or, how it looks. All right, let's go ahead and do the bottoms. Okay, so we're going to, and you can see, let me pull this out. So my bottoms are hanging over. Flip it around this way. That's why we have that 16 by 20. Really helps. If you didn't have the 16 by 20, your other option is to go ahead and print half, slide it over, print the other half. So if you didn't have this larger platen area to work with, that's totally acceptable to do that. What you want to do is just kind of get as many of the wrinkles out as you possibly can. Get it as flat as possible. You're never going to be able to get, I don't know if you can even see here, but there's like this sort of grouping or bunching, I guess, of fabric. You're never going to be able to get that totally flat, but we're going to try as best as we can to get as many of the wrinkles out. Okay. And I am going to increase my pressure again because I am not using a pillow for this. Okay, I think that's good. We'll do a little bit more. Okay. All right. That works. And we're going to make sure that we put this the right way. You know what? I am going to take that off there for a second. I just want to keep this bottom clean. Put a piece of parchment, copy paper, whatever you need on the bottom, because I'm definitely overextending past my, there we go. All right, get these back on there. Okay. Any questions while I kind of get this set up?
Going back to the gap on the sports bra, can you fill it in with a piece of design?
Oh, on this side? Sure. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of, if you wanted to go ahead and maybe print a pink stripe or a black stripe to kind of go with the design, sure, you can keep printing. Remember, sublimation ink is transparent, so anything underneath that kind of block is going to sort of come through a little bit. But yeah, I would totally, you can kind of go into that little seam and knock it out with another color. So yeah. All right, hearts are going that way. Perfect. place that where I need it. I'm covering my band. I'm covering the bottoms. We're gonna go for it. Okay. Close and lock. 400 degrees, 60 seconds, heavy pressure. And then we're gonna flip it over and do the back side of the boxer or the Boyshorts.
So do you think it's better to use a clamshell instead of the Cricut Easy Press?
The clamshell, yes. I feel like with any kind of product, a commercial heat press is going to get you the best results. The Easy Press is designed for sublimation, and that's great for it. But you're also smaller, and you have to do your own pressure. So in the end, this would probably be easier for you than the Easy Press. But if the Easy Press is all you had and you wanted to give it a shot, I'm not going to say no, because I feel like these are worth it to try. They're fun. Silky Socks has a great line. They're super comfortable. I wear my socks all the time. I have to forget that these are hot coming out. Okay, so I didn't notice on this one as I had done on the others, but you can see my band got printed on the inside. If I just peel it down, can you see that? So I didn't realize that it kind of was overlapping a little. I'm fine with it, but just kind of take note. Put a sheet of parchment and then you'd be fine. You won't have that issue. All right, let's do the back side. And then we'll have a cute little matching set. Okay, let's get this on here. You don't have to pre-press because it pretty much is already flat. You can if you want. I'm gonna go for it because it's already been pressed one time. All right, lay it down this way. Sure I'm covering my bands, which I am, and this side. All right, let's go. Close and lock. Okay, another 60 seconds. We'll let that cook. And I'm gonna go ahead and lay out all of our projects here. So you can see, do we have any other questions? All right, how many people are gonna try this on their own? I would love to see what you can make and tag us. I really wanna see what kind of Valentine Day silky socks you can create and make and have fun and customize. And don't forget to tune in 2 weeks, February 3rd, we're going to talk with Sawgrass. They're going to show us all the benefits of the SG-1000. They're going to actually print some Silky Socks products for you as well to show you how easy it is so you don't have to piece it together like I did and have that potential seam. But we're also, I'll wait until we're done. So don't go anywhere. Voila. It never, like you'd think I should get, gloves or something. Oh my gosh, how cute. Such a cute little matching set. I love that, but this is backwards. So we'll flip it over the right way. So cute, so fun. All right, now back to what I was saying. So February 3rd, tuning in with Sawgrass. And not only are they gonna kind of host our live with us and, show you all the benefits of the 1000 and use it and work with it and print some products, but we're also gonna give an SG-500 away. What? For free. All you have to do is sign in on Instagram with us and do a couple things. We're going to be kind of posting a few things leading up to it to kind of get you to, Kate, what's my word that I need? Not enroll, but be an entry into the contest. I don't submit. Thank you. She's right there for me. But we're going to walk you through how to do all that. So that way, you know, you can be the winner of the SG 500. And we're going to announce it live with Sawgrass on February 3rd. But tune in for all those details. We're absolutely going to, you know, have them posted. Tune on Instagram. That's where all that information is going to be as to how to enter the contest. And yeah, along with that, I want to see your Valentine's Day project. So please, 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 please share that with us. And yeah, do we have any other questions before we get going? All right. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you tune in 2 weeks and we will see you there. All right. Bye, everybody.